And good Monday evening. How's everybody doing? Glad you could join us here in the middle of December. My name is Tom Young. I am the host of the Tom Talks Baseball podcast. We've been away for a little bit. Of course, the season ended, the COVID shortened season. And so we took a little bit of a break, and we're going to continue that break until 2021. But some pretty big news happened here in the last week or so with minor league baseball, and it is impacting what we might see next year with the Amarillo Sod Poodles. So we're going to have a lot of fun tonight learning more about what's happening with that team. My guest is the president and GM of the Amarillo Sod Poodles, Tony Ensor, a man you know very well if you follow the podcast. And we're going to learn more about that. And what's great about this tonight is we are live, and you can not only watch, but also join the conversation. So if you've heard all this news about the affiliation change, maybe some new Texas League teams, the contraction of MILB, and you want to ask those questions, you can do that tonight. And the man himself, Tony Ensor, can give you an answer right then and there. So thank you very much for watching. Let's have some fun this evening. Merry Christmas, indeed. Happy holidays. Thank you, Jeremy, for checking us out tonight. Let's go ahead and bring in my right-hand man or my left-hand man, depending on whatever side he's standing on. David Lovejoy joining us. How you doing, sir? Thanks for being with us on this Monday evening.
Hey, Tom, I can't think of a better way to spend a cold, chilly December evening than talking baseball, and better yet, Sod Poodles baseball.
Yeah, so there's still snow on the ground in Amarillo. I don't know what's going on with that, but we'll try to at least make you think warm thoughts with the baseball conversation, because indeed a lot of news with the Amarillo Sod Poodles. And one thing I was wondering for a while, and I mentioned it a couple times, was with all this contraction talk, would it be the same thing as 2019? And the answer is no, there's going to be some changes, it sounds like. So let's bring in the man right now, Tony Ensor, president and GM of the Amarillo Sod Poodles. We have questions, and we are glad that you are on tonight to help us answer those. Tony, how you doing this evening? And thanks for joining us.
I'm good, gentlemen. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you,
Tony.
Yes.
Okay.
It's exciting, a lot of changes occurring over here in the last couple of weeks, and more to come down the road, and it's all good stuff. But I'll be happy to answer any questions you've got.
Okay, well, the first question. So the thing we saw last week, Tony, was this invite from the Diamondbacks to be a part of their their association, their franchise. Is that officially, has that been accepted, or is it still in the invite stage?
No, we're still in the dating stage right now. We're not married yet, so we're still evaluating the invitation. Like I put in our presser in our statement, that our ownership now has to evaluate, along with the team, the proposal that's being put forward by Major League Baseball and the invitation by the Diamondbacks. And as soon as we go through that process, then we'll be ready to go. And it's an affiliation. You can call it that. It's an affiliation. So we're not there yet, but we're very close.
And when it comes to this, is this because of contraction? Is that why all of this took place, or was the contract for the Padres, did it run out and a change was coming anyway? How did all this come to be?
Yeah, no, and who knows whether we'd have been with the Padres after this point anyway, but we had a 2-year agreement with the San Diego Padres, 19 and 20, and 20 didn't happen, obviously, but that year still counted. But really what this was all about had nothing to do with the Padres, had nothing to do with the Diamondbacks, or really the Sod Poodles. This was Major League Baseball's way of restructuring and redefining the minor league system. They've been trying to do this and wanting to do this, find a way to streamline and redevelop and really upscale, I guess, the player development process, and to get their teams better aligned geographically, their major league teams and minor league teams. And this has really had our geography with Arizona and San Diego, one could argue is pretty much the same, but this really had to do with redeveloping and reevaluating the entire minor league process geographically. So we aligned with the Diamondbacks, which is great for us. We're going to miss the Padres, obviously, if this goes through, and I have no reason to think that it won't. But we're going to miss the Padres, but because they were a huge part of our beginning, in 2018 and 19 when we started all this. But the reason why this happened is because of Major League Baseball's restructuring of minor league baseball. And it deals with player development. It deals with facilities. It deals with player travel, health and wellness, the marketing side of things. This has all been set up to really shape us for the next 10 to 20, 30 years of baseball, both at the major league level and the minor league level. Because this is not this new agreement. In the past, just as an example, we would sign a player development contract, which is what we did with the San Diego Padres. And those are typically 2 years in length. And then if the partnership continues and everybody likes each other and they love what we're doing, and the Padres did, don't get me wrong, Padres loved everything about Amarillo. But typically those things would be 2 years and need to renew them for another 2 years. Well, this agreement, when it happens with the Arizona Diamondbacks, is a long-term agreement, just like all the minor league teams now are going to have long-term agreements. So we're talking a 10-year agreement instead of 2 years.
Okay, so while people here were maybe getting used to the Padres, now it's time to get used to possibly the Diamondbacks, because once they're here, you're saying they're here, and that's going to be the team that we need to follow if we want to see any of these prospects moving on up. And that's another thing that is going to change. While I think, some things are going to be similar, it's still the Sod Poodles. It's going to be a whole new crop of guys that we're going to be seeing. These are the Diamondbacks players. If anyone is, unsure about how this whole process works, what are some things that we can expect to be the same and some things that maybe we can expect to be a little different from 2019?
Yeah, as far as from the fan perspective, just the experience, the baseball experience, Hodgetown, our staff, the way we do things, nothing at all is going to change. Fireworks on Friday, giveaways throughout other days, all the great promotions we do. The ballpark's not changing. Our brand is not changing. Trust me, I worked too hard on this brand, and our community worked too hard on this brand to change anything about the brand. So we are the Sod Poodles forever and an eternity. The only thing that's really going to change is where our players are coming from and where they're going to go to when they leave Amarillo. So just like with the Padres, our high A affiliate was in Lake Elsinore. Those players would come up from Lake Elsinore, come to Amarillo, and then go to El Paso for AAA, and then on up to the big leagues. And on many occasions, they'd go straight from Amarillo to the big leagues. I think we sent 11 players straight from Amarillo to the big leagues. Some had bounced back and forth, but overall it was around 11 players. Now, the only thing that's going to happen differently from that is now the players are going to be coming from the Arizona Diamondback farm system or their major league affiliate. They're all signed by the Arizona Diamondbacks, just like the players out of high school and college were signed by the Padres. Now they're assets and players within the Arizona Diamondbacks farm system, which, by the way, just so people know, I love where the Arizona Diamondbacks are right now. They are number 6 in all of Major League Baseball. Out of the 30 teams, they're rated number 6 farm system in the country, and I think they're going to actually get going higher because with the Padres, they had Mackenzie Gore, who kind of skewed the number low because he was number 1. The Diamondbacks have 5 guys in the top 100 players. They are loaded at the minor league level, and especially at the high A and AA level. So I don't expect you'll see any. I know you won't see any drop off in talent. In fact, you may see things improve, because if those are people that kept up from our 2019 Texas League Championship, basically our entire defensive team was traded in the offseason of 19 and 20 before the 20 season. So literally all of the Oliverises, the Buddy Reeds, and all the guys that oh gosh, now I'm drawing blanks on our players' names. Yeah. Literally 9 of our players were traded in the offseason. So those players weren't going to be seen here in Amarillo in 2020 anyway, or 21 coming forward. So it was going to be a whole new team anyway. All of our pitchers have gone up to the major league level. But just to give you an idea of Taylor Trammell was another one that obviously got traded. Taylor Trammell, Buddy Reed, and a couple of our pitchers, but mainly it was our position players that got traded. And that was done to bolster the San Diego Padres Major League Club, which is what the minor league system is for, right? So no problem with that, but that's just the nature of the business. But just so you know, the Diamondbacks, they are the 6th-rated Major League club farm system in all of baseball. In fact, their teams and our equivalent, and this is something I always have to preface with folks. I don't think people understand or appreciate how unique 2019 was. You don't ever win a championship in your inaugural season. Championships don't come that easy. In fact, in Chattanooga, when I was with the Chattanooga Lookouts many, many moons ago, we won in 1989. Well, prior to that 89 championship, it was 35 years prior since the Chattanooga Lookouts had won a championship. So Those things don't happen very often. But just to let you know what we have in store coming for us, the Diamondbacks AA affiliate in Jackson, Tennessee, has won back-to-back Southern League titles at the AA level. So that just shows you what we have coming here, and it's pretty amazing with the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, so they got some great talent. I know, Dave, I'm going to get to you in a moment. Jeremy's got a question, and we've kind of hinted at it a little bit. Is it still the same level? And with this restructuring, I mean, in terms of it being AA and AA, yes, it is. But do you think AA baseball is going to be viewed a little bit differently now that you have this new setup with the teams having the 4 affiliates instead of having the rookie balls and the short seasons and all? Is AA going to be viewed differently, do you think, going forward?
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Jeremy. And really that the answer to that is yes, it's going to be viewed the same, but even more so to some degree, because with the fewer number of players, I mean, let's not beat around the bush here. The AA level is the premier prospect level. Yeah. So it doesn't need to go much higher. I mean, if you want the best talent that Major League Baseball has signed, it's always going to be at the AA level. It's not at the AAA level. The AAA level is more of a holding pattern for players that have been at the Major League level and are on their way down. Half the team is on their way down. Half the team is on their way up. I know this because I managed a team for 13 years in the Pacific Coast League. So the level that you want to be at and stay at and see is AA, and especially in the Texas League. I've been in the Southern League, and I love the Southern League, but I'll be honest with you. The talent we saw here in 2019, not just from the Sod Poodles, but from all the other teams, especially the big arms, that's just uncanny talent at the AA Texas League level. So it's staying the same, if not going to be bolstered up a little bit. You're going to see the best talent that baseball has to offer. Everyone's big prospects are going to be at Hodgetown in 2021.
Tony, I'm glad you got out on that statement. It was sort of my first question about it's not a punishment. It's no one did anything wrong. It's just the way Major League Baseball works with that 2-year contract. And also one of the things I was wondering about was the travel, and you addressed that. It's a 2-flight trip to Arizona, a 3-flight to San Diego. You can get prospects there, I think, a little bit quicker if they're needed at the last minute. So I'm going to go a different way with my question now since you handled those two. We've heard rumors that Texas League may add some teams. Will that mean some teams are dropping, or are we going to a 10-team league in the Texas League this upcoming season?
Yeah, no, I don't think that's any big secret at this point. It looks like we're going to be adding to our league. It looks like San Antonio, who is going to really go down. San Antonio, if you recall, was AAA. That's where our franchise came from, was from San Antonio, actually. So San Antonio was AAA in the Pacific Coast League. They've been dropped down to AA, so they'll enter our league as the 9th team. And then Wichita, who's coming in as a new team, a new stadium, which was also projected to be AAA. They were the New Orleans Zephyrs franchise that moved to Wichita, and they built a brand new stadium in 2020 to open up Pacific Coast League play. They never saw a game at the AAA level. They're likely to come into the AA level. So I see our league going from an 8-team league to a 10-team league. And the new teams that you're going to see, obviously the Padres are going to be in San Antonio, which is going to be kind of fun because now I'll go sit in the stands and give Philip Wellman a bunch of grief from all the mean things he said to me when he was here. I'm just kidding. I love Philip to death, but I'm going to have some fun with Philip when he comes in on the visiting side, because likelihood is he'll be in San Antonio with that club as the AA club for the San Diego Padres. And Minnesota is going to be coming in with the Wichita club. So that's a new, really two new teams to the Texas League with the Diamondbacks in Amarillo and Minnesota Twins in Wichita.
And
one quick question, Tony.
Ahead,
we look at that and we see you mentioned it, 2019, lightning in the bottle. We won a championship here. 2020, we were looking for big things. A all-star game here in Hodgetown. The pointy boots, the recognition of the Hispanic culture in Major League Baseball. Those things were pushed out due to COVID. Will we see those come back? Do we still have a chance at All-Star game? Will we maybe do that and revisit? And one thing close to my heart, Major League Baseball last year recognized the anniversary of the Negro Leagues. Is that something maybe the Sod Poodles can put on their agenda for 2021?
Well, absolutely. You know, we pretty much remember when things shut down in 2020. We were ready to go. It was March 15th, March 17th. All of our promotions were in. Our schedule was there. Our promotional schedule was there. Our media buys were there. Everything was, we were geared up. Tickets were out. I mean, we were ready to go. And then we got shut down. So everything that we had on the promotional schedule last year, all those bobbleheads, which quite honestly, the Tatis Jr. bobblehead, the Buddy Reed bobblehead, we've got so many. I think we had 4 or 5 different bobbleheads that we were doing for 2020. Those are all still happening in 21. We've got them here just ready to go. The championship ring giveaway is another one that is going to happen on opening day of 2021. So, every promotion that we had planned, and along with a couple of them that we were able to use in the Texas Collegiate League in 2020, we'll be replacing those with some new ones, and we'll get that out just as soon as we have those replacements. But all the promotions and everything else is all going to stay the same. And I love the idea of a celebration for the Negro League. You know, when I was running the Birmingham Barons, a lot of people don't realize this, but I ran something that was called the Rickwood Classic for about 10 years. Rickwood Classic was the oldest, we'll call it turn back the clock game. It was actually played in the oldest ballpark on the historical register in the country. It was built in 1910, Rickwood Field, and I created that with my current president. He was the current president there. I was the GM, and we ran that thing. It was a true turn back the clock. You could picture me with a white shirt and a bow tie and a straw hat. I mean, we really turned back the clock, and we celebrated different periods and different championships and celebrations in Birmingham Barons history. And we celebrated more than, I think it was a couple of different years, 2 or 3 different years, where we celebrated as playing. Our players would wear the uniforms of the Negro Leagues, and the other opposing teams would come in and they would play in those uniforms, and it was amazing. So I'd love to do something like that here, but I did learn a lesson. I'm not going to have my players wear the old wool jerseys anymore. I was trying to be a little bit too authentic, and I think it was Miguel Olivo. You remember the catcher Miguel Olivo? He was a great kid, and we won a championship together. But I had this beautiful wool jersey that I put on the players, and in Birmingham in June, which is when we played these games, it's about 98 degrees with 90% humidity. Yeah. And after the game, Miguel came up to me and was saying, "Hey, what a great game, what a great experience," because all the players love being involved in that too. Because you really walk into that stadium and it's like walking into the 1920s. I mean, it's unbelievable. And we turned the whole operation into a 1920s, 1930s operation. But he walked up to me and I pat him on the back, man. I said, "Great game." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, these were road grays." And he was soaked to the skin. Yeah. He lost 20 pounds on that day. And I said, "Okay, I learned my lesson." You as a young promoter, you got to learn these things. And unfortunately, the players were my guinea pigs. So it was great. But I'd love to do something like that with the Negro Leagues. What an amazing history it has, and especially in the South, because this is what I alluded to. A lot of people didn't remember, the South was where the Negro Leagues, the league's birth was. It's where it all occurred. And of the 90 at the time, this was 15, 20 years ago, 15 years ago. But 75 of the remaining 90 Negro League players that were alive at the time lived in Birmingham. So wow. It was amazing. When these guys walked in, and I just heard their stories, and we had an autograph signing with them, and we just treated them like the important people that they were in the history of our game, and they just loved it, and we loved having them, and it was really a great moment in Birmingham when we had those contests. Tom, I believe you're muted.
Yeah, Tom, we're not hearing you.
Yeah, how about I turn my mic on? I'm running this. I'm trying to do too much here. But you were talking about Miguel Olivo, and I had me thinking there was something that he was on the verge of doing at the major league level that I don't think he quite did it, and it just hit me. I think for a player that played as long as he has, he almost had more home runs than walks in his career, which is not. I mean, I don't think anyone's ever done that over so many at bats and he ended up with 145 home runs and 158 walks in over 1,000 games. So he almost had more homers than walks.
Well, if you know Miguel Olivo, he doesn't get cheated at the plate. No,
he does not.
He's not. And he hasn't seen a ball he doesn't like yet. So he's a free swinger.
We got a few people watching tonight. Want to thank you all for checking us out, including a guy that I think is going to be back here next season. The voice of the Sod Poodles, Sam Levitt, is checking in over on the East Coast right now, I believe. Sam, hopefully you're staying safe out there. Good to hear from you. And going back to the things that are going to stay the same and change, you mentioned Philip Wellman. Now, Wellman is in the Padres organization. He's not a Sod Poodle guy. So Wellman's going to be gone. But someone like, our MC Dennis, who's been doing the 12 Days of Christmas there on your socials. Dennis is a great guy, and all those guys, and of course Sam, and those guys are staying. They're still a part of the Sod Poodle brand. Is that correct?
Oh, and that's the thing that people will know. I mean, you come to know and love. I mean, how could we go without the Prince of the Panhandle? I mean, is that even possible? I think we'd have to fold as a franchise if Sam Levitt wasn't coming back. So. We missed Sam, and what was great was to have Sam be able to come back for that 2020 for this year to do the Texas Collegiate League, and I'll tell you, I'll bet you he'll remark on this, but he really had a good time with that. Being around these young players and seeing, because that's a level we hadn't seen before. That I mean, these are pre-professional players, and man, they had some talent, and I thought Sam did a great job of really bringing awareness to those players and to their families and really just doing them justice. And I think we did that as an organization. I think we did that as a community. I mean, those players that played in the TCL, every one of them just spoke so highly of this community and so highly of this operation. It was such a fun thing to have. But no, everything that you see, that you know, and that you love about Hodgetown, none of that's changing. Again, the only thing that's changing is the players are coming from a little farther south than they did before when they came to us from San Diego. So, and don't get me wrong, and I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'll go ahead and say this. I think Major League Baseball was trying to do a solid for the Diamondbacks because they had been in a tough place, and I think part of this was to make sure that all the Major League clubs had great facilities to train in. And I know from talking to the Padres how much they appreciated Amarillo, how much they loved this organization, our operation, the facilities, and the fans. You can't. They're going to miss that so much, and I know Welly is going to miss it. He and I talked a couple of days before the announcement, and because at the time we really didn't know, but it was rumored. And I know he's going to miss everything about it. He's a pro. He'll make everything and probably try to beat our tails off when he's playing us, and I'm sure he will try. He's not going to succeed, but he's going to try. But he loved Amarillo and Monty and the entire Padres farm set. I talked to the assistant general manager the other day and the farm director, and they were so gracious and they know that this was not about Amarillo or San Diego or Diamondbacks. This is about the improvement and the betterment and the more long-term success of baseball as a whole. So our move in Amarillo affected the AA move in Jackson and the AAA move in Jacksonville, Florida, and Wichita and the Sugar Land Skeeters. I mean, it was all a chessboard. So it really was not the Padres would love to be in Amarillo, quite honestly, but it was Major League Baseball that said, hey, this is the structure we think works. We need everybody to play well in the sandbox and to make this thing for the betterment of baseball, and that's what happened. So, but we just happened to get very lucky in the fact that we're with an organization. I mean, think of the history of the Diamondbacks. I think they've won 5 National League Western Division championships, and they've only been around since '98. They've won 5 championships. They've got a World Series. They've got guys like Randy Johnson, who, wink, wink, may be making an appearance in Amarillo in the future. Luis Gonzalez, you've got.
You're just going to drop that one in there. Huh? We might see the big unit here.
You look at Trevor Bauer came from the Diamondbacks. Goldschmidt came from the Diamondbacks. Kurt Schilling was a member of the Diamondbacks. So you have an amazing piece of history right there with all these guys. And this is an organization that's really wanting to get back to the prominence. I mean, they're going to have to spend for the payroll. The one thing I do love about what the Diamondbacks, and I talked to their farm director, Josh Barfield, the other day, and what an amazing guy he was. I'll share a funny story with you in the summer when we get further along in our relationships about mine and Josh's first call. But they have such a serious approach to their farm system. I mean, they really, a lot of teams say we want to develop our farm system to make our major league club. I mean, they want to develop the major league club through the farm system. They don't just talk the talk; they walk the walk. And you look at what they've done and the deals they've made, it's all about their major league club as a roster full of minor league players. So I think you're going to see a lot of success at the major league level with the talent they have coming up. Probably will be some free agent trades down the road. But they're very serious about developing talent at the minor league level, which bodes well for us. And that's why they've won 2 Southern League championships back-to-back. That's why they're rated the number 6 franchise or farm system in all of Major League Baseball. So I couldn't be happier. And everything I've heard from their other affiliates in Reno and Visalia, I mean, they just speak so highly of the partnership that they have with the Diamondbacks. I think it's a great win for us, and I think it's a great win for the Diamondbacks, quite honestly.
And one thing I think is interesting, going back to Philip Wellman, you got a guy who's been around a while, played a little bit, but has managed a lot of games in the minor leagues. And the guy that was the AA manager in 2019, Blake Lawley, is just a few years older than me. And and spent a lot of time playing in minor league baseball, including with the Diamondbacks a little bit. Is he still the guy that's going to be the AA manager, or are the Diamondbacks making a change for 2020?
Yeah,
2021.
Yeah. We don't know yet. We know it was announced for 20. We've had some brief discussions on that, but I don't think they've settled on that yet. If you look at Lawley, who was the tailored to be the manager, and who's the pitching coach for the AA team in last year for the Diamondbacks? Did you happen to look at that?
I did not. Who was that?
Young fella named Doug Draback.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
he pitched a game or two, I think.
I know him.
2 or 3 games.
Wow.
But wow, I mean, from what I've heard, I mean, the coaching staff is amazing that they had. They've won back-to-back Southern League titles equal to our level, just a little bit further east. But I think that they're going to come loaded for bear, and I know they're going to be so pleased. I can't tell you how excited they are to come out here, because they've heard all the stories. I mean, when I say we open the eyes and the work of the professional baseball world to Amarillo, and the country embraced Amarillo. And so when I say everyone's heard about what happened in Amarillo, both on the field, off the field, with our community, with our fans in the stadium, baseball knows about Amarillo. I can assure you that. And the Diamondbacks are so excited to get back, or to get into Hodgetown for the first time and begin play. That's one thing they talked about, and they know about the amazing community. And that's the thing Philip, said he missed the most, is because, he'd been doing it as a long time, as you said, but he'd never experienced anything like Hodgetown and Amarillo baseball. So I know he's going to miss it, but hey, this is the baseball business. We're going to miss him, but you know what? I still have his cell phone number now. I can razz him a little bit and have more fun with him than I would as a manager. When he'd lose down there, I wouldn't push him too far. I'd just go down there and talk to him and try to raise his spirits a little bit. Now razz him a little bit when he's on the other side.
Well,
even though we have great clubhouse facilities for the visiting side, it's not like the home side.
Yeah. Oh, of course not. No, nor should it be, right?
Exactly.
We're chatting with the president and GM of the Amarillo Sod Poodles, Tony Ensor. This is the Tom Talks Baseball podcast. I'm Tom Young. Thanks for joining us on this Monday evening. A lot of news about the Sod Poodles. Found out that they've been invited to be a part of the Diamondbacks organization. If you have any questions or thoughts about this, because it's a lot of first for us here in Amarillo, leave a comment here. We're on Facebook. We're on our Twitter page at Tom Talks BBP. Also, Tom Talks Baseball on YouTube. You can check us out there and ask questions. And if you're hanging out tonight, we'll see you there. Jeremy Shaw loves David. He says you're a legend, man. So
no, Jeremy's the man. Jeremy's the man right there.
Melvin's checking us out tonight. Melvin, hopefully you're doing well. And Carrie checking in. And yeah, with the Padres still being in this league, we'll probably see some of these familiar faces again. Just they won't be donning Sod Poodle jerseys; they'll be in Mission jerseys. But we could see some familiar faces for sure in 2021.
Well, I agree. I mean, just because not only the guys that could be coming back from our 2019, which is not going to be very many. I mean, they're from a position player standpoint, Zuni and Overstreet, I think, were the only guys that were left.
Yeah.
That the rest of them got traded, and a lot of our pitchers have gone up to now the AAA level or to the major league level. But you'll see some guys on that Padres team, but you'll also see those same guys. I mean, I expect Buddy Reed to, and we did skip a year now, so I don't know what that means for them. I mean, all the players lost a year all the minor league players lost a year of playing. So I expect you'll see Buddy Reed in Midland, with the Oakland A's. I think she was talking about Travis Radke maybe being here. Travis got signed by the Diamondbacks. So I hope that he would become – I hope for him, quite honestly, that he's not here. I hope he's in Reno or in Arizona. I mean, I think he's such an underrated – he's a pitcher. He's not a thrower. This guy knows how to pitch. He knows what he's doing every moment of every second, every moment, every pitch out there, every batter. He knows what he's doing. So I would love to see him in Amarillo, but for his career, I'd love to see him in the big leagues or worst case scenario in Reno, our AAA affiliate, when this deal happens.
Yeah, and go ahead, David.
First shout out to Sam and the Fighting Reese Davises this weekend, Northwestern versus Ohio State. Hope they look good. One thing that Tony has brought to Amarillo with the Amarillo Sod Poodles was these people live here. Tony lives here. Shane lives here. He hires local people like Matt Hamilton in our community to work as part of the Sod Poodles. And this summer was a really telling tale about how Tony feels about baseball. We attended one of the Wooden Bat League games for the collegiate, which is basically the only baseball going on in this country below the major league level, because this league, the Sod Poodles, wanted to give entertainment to places during this pandemic. But we went out and Tom and I attended a ball game, and it was late innings. I think ninth inning. We're getting ready to head out. It was a tight ball game. One team came up in the last of the ninth, about 3 or 4 runs down, and they made a miraculous comeback. And Tony Ensor's excitement was just as big as if this was the 7th game of the World Series or these young men out here playing in a bat league. It's all about baseball for Tony Ensor, and that's why the Sod Poodles will have continued success no matter who they're affiliated with. One thing that Tony has really made a point of, and they did it since day one, is being a part of the community. They use the stadium for some events this summer, for some concerts, for different things. And one thing that's really, really a blessing to our community due to the COVID, he's going to be a part of the North Side Toy Drive. So those young men and women can get a great Christmas gift brought to you by the great folks, Elton Bradley, all those folks over there at the Northside Toy Drive. And Tony, hats off to you and the Sod Poodles. You said it and you do it every day. You are part of our community.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Those are I don't know why you take this job or any job that deals with the public if you're not interested in people, whether it's helping people that are most vulnerable or that are in need, or whether it's sharing the game of baseball with people and allowing families to make memories out here. It's not about me and my memories. It's about the memories that a mom and dad and a child make when they come out here, or that moment where 3 generations, a grandfather, a dad, and his son come out here and make together at the ballpark. Those are the memories that I'm talking about when I say we're in the memory making business. But I love what we do in the community. We just recently did the Thanksgiving luncheon down at the Civic Center. We were at Snack Pack for Kids the other day, rocking it. I mean, we boxed up 4,000 lunches in like an hour and 45 minutes. I think that's a record. Not that we're competitive or anything, but those are things that I love doing, and my staff loves doing, and our players love doing. It's being with people, because that's what this game is. And I'll be honest with you, you're right. I am passionate about baseball, but I'm passionate about players that wear the A on their uniform or on their hat, or the SP, and that have Amarillo as the first name. I mean, that's to me what it's all about. It's about our community. It's about our players. If they're players that are coming in from the Padres, I mean, those players had never spent 5 minutes in Amarillo, but boy, did our community embrace them. And those players fell in love with Amarillo. I can't wait to see what our community does to support these guys from that are coming in from all around the world, really, with the Arizona Diamondbacks and their first experience. They've heard about Amarillo. They've heard about the magic. I can't wait to see that magic all over again as we get to introduce ourselves to a new group of players. And quite honestly, that's going to happen every year. I mean, you're going to turn over at least 60% of your roster every single year at the AA level. So basically, it's like my family. Amarillo is my family. I can't wait to bring this new person into our lives, to introduce them to our family. That's how proud I am of this community and the way we tackle things. And just like the TCL, the Texas Collegiate League, I mean, you're tested in the tougher moments, not in anyone can manage in the easy moments, the tougher moments when your metal's tested. And boy, did our metal in this community get tested. We were able to host events. Our community came out. COVID cases during the Texas Collegiate League went down during that period. We did things right. Everyone cooperated. We wore masks. We social distanced. We had all the sanitary and the stadium cleaning procedures all in place. And not a player had COVID. Now, I was so proud of that for 32 days. I mean, again, when I say the world is open, the Amarillo has opened the eyes of the world for professional sports. I mean, we led the nation in attendance in 2020. We had 56,000 people come out to Hodgetown to watch collegiate wood bat. No one in the country did that. Again, It's just Amarillo. That's who we are.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons. I think that's one of the reasons why 2019 is going to be so memorable, because we had the great talent with what the Padres gave us. Just the way you guys helped build around the game made it a very fun experience. The way the community got behind it, the way you got involved in the community. And that led to a lot of great moments that we'll never forget here in 2019. And Jeremy, who I know lives over in Illinois, wasn't around here, but follows the podcast and wants to know your favorite Sod Poodles moment with the Padres. And I don't even know if you can pick one. Because I mean, everything from Reggie Lawson taking the mound for the first time in Hodgetown to Tramel's grand slam and the Dewar winner lose championship game. I mean, everything in between that was just amazing. But is there one particular moment, Tony, that sticks out to you in 2019?
Yeah, I mean, you're right, and that's a great question, Jeremy. And there were so many. I mean, there's enough moments in 2019 to fill a career, quite honestly, not just a year, but a career of first and great happenings. But all those ones that you mentioned are massive and extremely important. But I got to tell you, for me personally, I'd have to say that the moment that we clinched in Tulsa. Travis Radke, as you know, was on the mound, and he recorded that final out with a backdoor nasty curveball for a called third strike against the Tulsa batter, and then the field went crazy, right? And I was down there to for the trophy ceremony and everything else. And I came running on the field. The players were out there doing their thing, celebrating on the mound and just destroying each other. Then we brought champagne out onto the field. And my favorite moment was I was there with the players. I'd come down to be a part of the trophy presentation, and I had players dumping champagne all over me and beer all over me. But Travis Radke brings me the ball, the championship ball that he struck out that batter with, and he wanted me to have it to put it in the archives of Amarillo's greatest moments in our history. I have that ball to this day sitting up here in my office, and we had put on the capital list to put in a trophy case for 2020. That didn't happen. Thank you, COVID. But we'll get to those things later, and because all these special moments that are happening in 2019 and will continue to happen. That's 2019 is an amazing part of our history, and it was an amazing beginning. It was a Hollywood script, but there's more Hollywood scripts coming. I'm telling you, 21, there's going to be Hollywood scripts, 22, 23, 24. That's what I love about baseball is, there's a new team, new players, new excitement, new prospects, not only for us, but the players that are coming in. So there's going to be so many new stories and new memories and things that we create. We didn't get that as much of an opportunity in 20, but we'll have that. And that's the thing I love about right now. We're talking about 21. We're talking about baseball happening in 21. That to me is exciting. So I'm ready to go. My staff's ready to go. And I know once we get all this paperwork and the details done with our partnership with the Diamondbacks, they'll be ready to go.
Again, I need to unmute myself. I know. Thank you. I catch it right when I do.
Hey, Dave, you're about to get a promotion.
I am multitasking here tonight, man. Give me a break. But definitely a lot of great moments in 19. And I think that's what's outstanding about this is that it's not a one-year thing. And like you just said, now we have for sure 10 years with the Diamondbacks. So Amarillo, it's time to become a Diamondback town, learn about these guys. And that's something that we're going to try to do here on the podcast, keep you guys informed with some of these players, hopefully do some player interviews like we did in 2019 so you can learn a bit more about these guys. It's a different crop, but like Tony was saying, I think with the talent they got and the level that a bulk of that elite talent is at, they got to come through here first. So just like with the Padres, all those guys had to come through here. They've kind of moved on, a lot of the big ones, but now the big ones the Diamondbacks got, they're A-ball right now. So they're going to be coming through here. And I think it's going to be very exciting. But anything else you want to add, Tony? If not, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And I know we're very excited to see some baseball in 2021 in Hodgetown. Well,
I think we've all struggled to this 20 year. It's been a tough year for our community, for our sport, for all 160 minor league teams around the country got shut down. For those people who have lost people in 20 and people in our community and those that have been hurt by COVID, I know that everyone is anxious to get into some semblance of a normal life. And that's what I think everyone's ready for 2020 to get out of here. And so we can start focusing on our families and our jobs and our community and heck, a little bit of baseball at the same time at Hodgetown. And we couldn't be more excited. We're truly blessed to be here. We're truly blessed to have the lives that we have in this community. And I think that's something for us all to remember as we transition from 20 to 21. And I just wish everybody a blessed and Merry Christmas, you guys and all your listeners. We couldn't be more proud to be a part of Amarillo. And I can't wait to see what the future is going to bring us.
Well, speaking of holidays, very quickly, if you want to give that special somebody a Sod Poodles gift of some kind, what can they do? And if they order online, see, David and I are representing a little bit here. I still want that sign above your head there. It's
not going anywhere.
I'll send you my address and we'll talk later. But if anybody wants to order anything online, is there a certain day they got to get that done by in order to get it by the 25th?
Yeah. The best thing to do is come to the store's open, and in fact, this week we've got some extended hours until 8:00. Go to the, obviously you see our stuff on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram where we're promoting those later hours. But come by the store. I think today or tomorrow is the last day to get it to where you're going to get it in the mail and get it that we're able to guarantee it. But come by the store. We got some great stuff. And I know this is a a lot of men out there and family members that, because I'm a tough guy to buy for. My kids always ask me, what do you want for Christmas? And I say, I don't know, a golf shirt or a ball cap or, no ties. I'm over the tie thing, but I'm kind of, and I don't really know what I want, but I know I've asked my kids, I said, we've got Pro V1 golf balls now, Sod Poodle Pro V1 golf balls in the team store, along with some other golf attire. We'll be getting more in after the first year, but you've got so many cool new things, and we're getting new items in every single week. We just got a woman's shawling that my wife is in love with. So we get new merchandise in every single week. We've got great stuff in there right now. Come down to the team store. We're open most mornings from 10 till 5, except for Monday. So Tuesday through Friday, we're open 10 to 5. We're also open on Saturday, 10 to 5. So come on down and pick out your Sod Poodle gear. We're coming back in 21. We can't wait, quite honestly, but come get your gear, because you're going to want to be wearing it out here at Hodgetown in 2021 to introduce us to the new Diamondback players.
I know I got my in-laws coming down here next week to celebrate Christmas with us, and my father-in-law is a massive golfer, so I think I'm going to have to swing on by, and he can pick up some of these the Sod Poodle stuff. I'll just tell him, don't hit him in the water, and just don't hit him at all.
No. I'm hoping everybody buys them up. So when I go out and play golf, I go look in the tall grass where I usually play.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
find Sod Poodle's balls all over the place. Yeah. So that'll be great.
If they put the hole in the rough, I'd be a damn good golfer. But
I don't know why
they put it on the green for some reson. Like, that's a good idea.
Just to psych us out a little bit. But, that's interesting you say that, because we had so many orders coming in from Arizona when we announced the invitation. Oh, nice. There's a lot of excitement on the Arizona side to come to Hodgetown and to be a part of the Sod Poodles, and for us to be a part of their family. And like you say, it's a 10-year marriage minimum. So we're going to be together, and we're going to grow together, and we're going to see some great players throughout that time.
Well, Tony Ensor, president and GM of the Amarillo Sod Poodles, the big news, still a question mark at this time, but it's looking like it's going to be the case. The AA affiliate of the Arizona Diamondbacks in a Texas league that now has 10 teams instead of 8, which I think will make for a much more entertaining and competitive league. Thanks for joining us tonight, Tony, and David, you as well. And thank everyone else for watching us here on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Hopefully you enjoyed this podcast. Give us a like, follow us there. If you like what we're doing, we'll try to do some more of these down the road. Going to try to get back in the studio in 21. We'll learn more about the prospects that Diamondbacks have. Going to try to get some connections on that. And we're going to have a lot of fun with baseball. But everyone have a good night. Thanks again, Tony and David, for joining us on the Tom Talks Baseball podcast.
Merry Christmas, guys. Great seeing you again. We'll see you in 2021.
Yes. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Go Army, beat Navy.